What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Better Call Saul breakdown and review. This is the big one, which was sadly spoiled early on, that Jesse and Walt would be returning despite the actors apparently being flown in directly and top secret. We open with that infamous scene of our boy Jimmy where way back in season 2 he mentioned Lalo. But, well, we cut to the music of Better Call Saul, and, well, the music starts of Breaking Bad. We cut to Jimmy's assistant, who looks like she is a cleaner for some dudes who are utter D-bags. I think she might be a handywoman or something, and I like how they're watching the Jackie Chan adventures. Now, she drives past a seat where Jimmy's advert used to stand, only for it to be William Oakley. He is the downbeat DA who now has his own firm. She drives past where the vacuum shop pickup was, as she appears to be tailed. She finally gets to speak to Saul at a petrol station, and he has hidden stuff for her, which is some cash. Now, he's desperate to know what's going on, and it sounds like he doesn't have the internet. She's still being tailed, despite someone, he mentions about the operation, someone taking over. Skylar has done a deal and only Jesse is left, but his car was found by the border, but we know that he's up in Alaska as of El Camino. The feds have found all of Jimmy's businesses and operations. He asks about his former henchman, as Huel went free, but Kubi is unknown. We find out that Kim called to check in on him after he hears Oakley went private. She asked about him, but his assistant gave up nothing whatsoever. And he can't just quit her, and he tries to speak to her, and it goes wrong, and it goes to be a total Kyle. As expected, Jimmy returns to the old lady, and is shown how to use her computer. Now, for me, I think that this is the beginning of his downfall once again, as she will no doubt discover the internet and maybe learn about him on there, as Jeff is paranoid, saying it wasn't a big purchase. But Saul has a new scam involving the cab company Jeff works for and barbiturates. Now we cut to his mark, and he is hilariously singing Brandy by Looking Glass, which has been in my head non-stop since Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and is in a game of escalating chicken with a dude. Now, it's unlike Jimmy to be on the back foot like this, deliberately being made fun of and mocked without going back and hitting back with his razor-sharp wit. However, this guy is child's play compared to the people he's dealt with, as he pours some water on the pavement, making me think that Slippin' Jimmy is back, but it looks like he was either pouring stuff into the alcohol or sucking it out. I could be wrong. Luckily, the cab is run by Jeff, and it's clear that Jimmy's no chump here as Jeff sticks tape on the dude's locks, and they take shots of the guy's bank and tax information. However, we cut to the RV of Walt and Jesse as the aftermath of the scene in Breaking Bad Season 2 hits. Now, man, did I miss Walt and Jesse dealing with Saul. I wondered how they were going to come into this, because we saw most of what they did, but it looks like we are seeing the in-between scenes here and more of how Saul learned about Walt and Jesse. He learns that, well, that's Heisenberg, and it's really cool to re-see Walt and Jesse early on in their careers, having myself only just watched El Camino, where it was like the aftermath. So Saul is too good, and I forgot how wonky that RV is. And Jesse asks who Lalo is, who Jimmy mentioned. Absolutely cool stuff. We have an amazing shot as Jimmy goes from the past to the present as a package arrives for him, which is like the massage thing. It turns out that the barbiturates are in the water, which knocks out the marks, and we have the ID and credits hit, and they sell the IDs for cash and even indulge in a strip club. Jimmy wakes up the hooker once again in his bed, and he's slowly returning to his old self once more, and even gives Jeff and his mate the burner phones, which he gave away a few seasons ago. Now we catch him working a Mark who works in finance, who has cancer, and, well, the guy takes his pills, and Jimmy recounts that he used to take a lot of vitamins as well. This shows that he's not changed. Despite everything, he is still he does not care. He always wants to be on top. In the past, he is on the massage thingy he had in the present, and is reminded to take the vitamins he mentioned to the guy as Mike walks in. Now, I kind of forgot that Mike was Saul's investigator as so much has happened, and he asks about Heisenberg as Saul learns that, well, he's a high school science teacher and has lung cancer. Saul asks, well, if Mike saying that he was an amateur and he shouldn't work with him was the words of the man who must not be named, Gustavo Fring, aka the Chicken Man, but it isn't. I find it funny how Mike said it was like Betamax, and in present day, Jimmy's new job has some issues, and they go back to the garage as Jeff's mum hears them, and I think that she will slowly get kind of suspicious that it's not just a car they're working on in that garage, as at the start she looked a bit kind of confused that Jimmy went off with Jeff, and Jeff's mate calls off the job with the guy with cancer, but Jimmy is fully back in his own ways, and in the past he heads to see Walt in his school. There was a few scenes where he was in the school, so we're going to see some extended cuts of that. But that is it for this episode. Please drop a like if you enjoyed it. I absolutely loved it. This season is so very, very good, and I'm very, very interested to see how Jimmy's whole story will end. But that is it. I'll see you soon, and goodbye.